2016 is coming to a close, and it's time to take a look back at all the stuff released this year and hand out some awards. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the 2016 Toy Galaxy Award Show. Making its animated return in 2016 with toys hitting shelves right now in December just before the year closes out and eligibility expires, the Return of the 80s award goes to Netflix's Voltron Legendary Defender. A genuinely funny and entertaining series that echoes and builds upon everything in the original series, Legendary Defender takes all that stuff and updates it for a modern audience. A full slate of combining and non-combining lions are here to put your clunky old lion bot to shame. And with Season 2 hitting in 2017, there's definitely more toys to come. On the other end of the spectrum, the Feels Like I Haven't Seen You Since the 80s award goes to G.I. Joe. Without a movie or animated series, Hasbro has nothing to anchor the line to, other than the Toys R Us exclusive multi-packs, which are mostly repaints or reissues, and the Collectors Club subscription service. The line is essentially dead. Look, Hasbro's doing just fine with Marvel Legends, Transformers, and Star Wars. They certainly don't need another iron in the fire. But G.I. Joe can be just as big as those other brands at both the 3 3/4 inch and 6 inch scale, and it's a very conspicuous hole in the market that is currently only being addressed by independent toy companies like Marauder Task Force and Acid Rain. The Best Toy Line That's Not For Me award goes to Mezco 1/12 Collective. Mezco has been making figures in different scales for a while. In 2015, they introduced the 1/12 Collective line. 6 inch scale, highly detailed, highly articulated figures with cloth goods costumes done really well, unheard of at the 6 inch scale. Batman led the way, and 2016 saw the introduction of Star Trek, Judge Dredd, and Marvel Entertainment licensed properties. Fan reception has been overwhelming, with nearly every figure selling out at a cost that is 3 to 4 times higher than the average 6 inch scale figure. More accessories, more detail, more articulation, cloth capes, desirable licenses. Other than the price, this is a dream line of figures for every collector, except me. Some figures everyone wants, and others there is no love to spare. The Pegwarmer of the Year award goes to Star Wars The Black Series Finn. He's a 2015 figure, and if we had produced an award show last year, he certainly would have won. So this is actually 2 awards that we're going to give to Finn, the 2016 Pegwarmer of the Year, and retroactively the 2015 as well. It's unfortunate because he is a marquee character in The Force Awakens, and likely for at least episodes 8 and 9 as well. Whether it's the storytelling or the production levels, Finn, even in December of 2016, can still be found wherever Black Series figures are sold. If there's one thing I would like to use the power of Toy Galaxy and YouTube to combat, it's the winner of the 2016 Worst Trend Award, Figswapping. What is Figswapping? You've seen it before. You're in the toy aisle, you're looking through a peg of Marvel Legends or Black Series, and you think you just found a highly desirable piece, maybe Deadpool, maybe Spider-Gwen. But after you stop high-fiving yourself, you realize that some unscrupulous son of a previously purchased the figure you thought you found, replaced it with something that was close, maybe an old Toy Biz figure, maybe a different Marvel Legends character that kind of looks the same, and then returned it to the store. There are probably some gutless out there that haven't paid for a figure in years. It's theft. It's despicable. And if you actually like action figures and you're doing this, you're hurting the potential for these figures to even be sold in brick and mortar stores at all. Time to name and shame collectors who do this, or the only place we'll be able to buy stuff is online. A likeness can be hard to get just right. The sculpt has to be right, the paint has to be right. Not every toy company can take the time or invest the money to digitally scan an actor, especially if the actor is dead. We don't usually include Hot Toys or Sideshow collectibles in any of our lists because they do such incredibly amazing work, and it's hard for 3 3/4 inch or 6 inch figures to compete with what can be done at the 12 inch scale and in that price range. The award for Best Non-Hot Toys Likeness goes to Transformers. Every single one, every single time. Hasbro just keeps nailing it. They look great. Whether it's to gauge interest in a character or to get a base of pre-orders set before production begins, toy companies will frequently release images of a prototype. Changes can happen during production that may result in a better figure, but more often than not, those changes result in a product that delivers something far, far worse than what we originally were promised. The Biggest Disappointment award goes to Mafex Batman vs. Superman Wonder Woman. When images first showed up back in December of 2015, it looked like Mafex was poised to deliver the best possible versions of all three of the core Justice Leaguers featured in Batman vs. Superman, at the very least figures that were better than anything that Mattel was going to be able to produce. I pre-ordered Wonder Woman immediately and penciled her in for the top 10 figures of 2016. Fast forward to November of 2016 when in-hand images started showing up and the finished product was a far cry from what had been shown in 2015 or even earlier in 2016 as a physical production sample at toy shows. What was expected to be the best movie Wonder Woman on the market at 6-inch scale was suddenly looking only marginally better than the Mattel offering, but at 3 times the price, and all that was going to get you was better articulation. I canceled my pre-order, which means that Mafex Wonder Woman dropped from a must-have with a guaranteed slot in the top 10 to an easy pass. In 2015, Hasbro shocked the collecting world with the full-size 6-inch scale First Order TIE Fighter. This year it was DC Collectibles who delivered the winner of the USS Flag Memorial I Can't Believe This Thing Exists award, Batman the Animated Series Batwing. The entire Batman the Animated Series line has consistently delivered incredible action figures that have everything you could possibly want in a toy line other than articulation and plastics that are about as strong as uncooked pasta. But DC went all in with the 36-inch weapon that is the Batwing. Styled perfectly after its on-screen appearance, it's hard to believe that you don't have to be licensed to carry it out of the store. It's a pointy and sharp thing is what I'm saying. If you're not careful, you'll not only take out your eye, but every eye in the room. In a very rare case of dead before arrival, the 2016 Bittersweet Award goes to Mattel's Thundercats Classics. Thundercats Classics was originally announced at San Diego Comic-Con 2015, but before the first figure shipped, the line was proclaimed dead in July of 2016, which had to have had a negative overall PR effect. That is not the way marketing drew it up. Lion-O's delivery slipped a month, arriving in October instead of September, but at that point everyone knew that Mattel was just mailing it in, or rather, taking their time to mail it in. Got him. Even a surprise announcement of the Thunder Kittens as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive couldn't bring any goodwill back to a line that had become a terrible investment for anyone who had already paid for an annual subscription. We may never get a Chitara or Tigra, but at least we have Jackalman. Collectors have a tendency to dwell on the stuff that the big toy companies got wrong and rarely celebrate, much less acknowledge the stuff they got right. The Best Trend Award goes to the return of the X-Men. Disney and Marvel have made a concerted effort to remove the X-Men from toy and comic book shelves in the last few years in an attempt to strong-arm the movie rights back from Fox to be able to incorporate the characters into the Marvel Cinematic Universe proper. It hasn't prevented Fox from keeping the X movies churning out even after a complete reboot of the universe. But 2016 looks like the year that Hasbro at least was able to coax some X-love back onto the market after the phenomenal success of the Deadpool movie surely made Disney realize they were leaving more toy money on the table than perhaps they realized. A full wave of key mutants like Deadpool, Wolverine, and Cable anchored by a Juggernaut Build-A-Figure and an announcement of future lines of X-Men related characters means the X-Men are back. Every year I worry we're 1 year closer to digital entertainment finally pushing physical toys into the past. But the big companies aren't slowing down, imports like SH Figuarts and Mafex are becoming easier to acquire, and crowdfunding efforts like Kickstarter have given birth to a whole new range of independence. Boss Fight Studios' Vitruvian Hacks to Marauder Task Force, Four Horsemen's Mythic Legions, I Am Elemental's line of superheroes, The Return of Eagle Force, Skeleton Warriors, Dime Novel Legends, and the 6-inch scale ninjas and samurai figures in the Fuchsia's articulated icons. The best time in history to be an action figure collector is right now, and the winner is you.